Hello. This is, I believe, our next to the last video in our set that we have. This one will include the sentence screens 61 to 64, or if you started renumbering, 25 to 28. And then that'll leave just one more that will have two screens on it. Okay, so here we go. Critics consider William Butler Yeats, the winner of the 1923 Nobel Prize for Literature, capitalized Nobel Prize and Literature, to be the finest lyric poet of the 20th century. 20th is okay like that in the Modern Language Association format. Otherwise, you can write it out if you'd like. Yeats's interest in Irish folklore and history led to his joining. Remember our possessive case before a gerund rule that we had. So his joining, the joining belongs to him, therefore it's his joining the Irish national movement, whose members sought, not seeked, Ireland's independence from Britain. Yeats once planned to become an artist like his father, and his early poems were dreamily pictorial, need an adverb form there, suggesting lovely landscapes lit by twilight. The Lake Isle of Innisfree is from this period. It's a regular-sized poem, so any quotation marks around it rather than the underlining. And in it, one sees Yeats's mystical inspiration. Yeats was essentially a poet and mystic. He believed that truth is reached through beauty. He believed that imagination is stronger than reason. Well, we can combine a little bit here. We could say Yeats was essentially a poet and mystic who believed that truth is reached through beauty and that imagination is stronger than reason. The haunting quality of his best poems. Now, what is my subject? My subject is quality. What does quality do? Quality results. R-E-S-U-L-T-S. The haunting quality of his best poems results from the clarity of their imagery and their musicality. So we need two nouns to balance. In later years, as Yeats tired of the romantic enchantments that had thrilled him as a young man, he adapted a plainer style. No, he didn't alter it. He took it as his own. He adopted a plainer style. Irish nationalism, particularly Yeats's desire for a popular style to express Irish aspirations, but what's my subject? Nationalism was. So nationalism was, subject-verb agreement, was also responsible for this change. Pygmalion gradually falls in love with a statue of a woman that he was sculpting in Greek legend. How about in Greek legend, all of this happens. So start out with in Greek legend. Aphrodite grants Pygmalion's wish because she's the goddess of love, and she made the statue become a living woman, whom the sculptor then marries. So let's see what we can do here. The goddess of love, Aphrodite, grants Pygmalion's wish to make the statue become a living woman, whom the sculptor then marries. So that helps us combine a little bit and establish better subordination. George Bernard Shaw's play Pygmalion, again underlined or italicized plays, is a modern retelling of the myth for which it is named. Now there's a case where we have to be a little wordier than what's on the screen right here. We don't want to end with a preposition, and so the more formal way to say that is retelling of the myth for which it is named. The play recounts how a girl becomes an elegant lady in Cinderella-like fashion. Her, quote, fairy godmother, close quote, however, is an English gentleman who teaches her to speak and act correctly. Adverb form. George Bernard Shaw was both a playwright, P-L-A-Y-W-R-I-G-H-T, we've had that one before, and social reformer. Again, parallel structure. We need to make these match. Pygmalion is an attack on England's class system. In other plays, Shaw criticized slumlords, war profiteers, and the inequities of the capitalized industrial age. Poor flower girl Eliza Doolittle is transformed into a counterfeit aristocrat and demonstrates the absurdity of class distinctions. Now, throughout many of these sentences, we've had passive voice, and we've transformed the sentences into active voice, but keep in mind there's nothing wrong with passive voice. But if you have too many passive voice sentences in a paragraph, the paragraph is very, very wordy. Everything's always done by somebody else. But this is a good example of a perfectly fine passive sentence. The professor's the one who transforms her, and they didn't want to mention the professor's name. So it's fine. If you do want to transform it, it's very easy to do. Poor flower girl Eliza Doolittle transforms into a counterfeit aristocrat and demonstrates the absurdity of class distinctions. In that way, we made Eliza Doolittle, the actor, transforms and demonstrates as our strong verbs. Pygmalion is Shaw's most successful work. The play inspired the musical My Fair Lady. Again, just like Pygmalion, My Fair Lady should be underlined or italicized. So that takes us from 61 to 64, which is also called 25 to 28. In our final video, we'll have 2 because this set only goes to 30 total.